What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, reviewing today the Castlevania Netflix show. I got up at 6 AM to watch this entire thing twice in a row just so that I could fully soak it in. I'm a pretty big fan of Castlevania. I own most of the rare games, including Castlevania Bloodlines, and I've beaten the heck out of them. It's such a great series, so I was really curious how they'd try and turn this into a TV show, and the way they did it is way different than I would have expected, but that's what I love about it. Okay, this is going to be very light on spoilers. What we have so far are the first 4 episodes. I think they're breaking the entire series into a bunch of 4-episode chunks that are come out every like 3 or 6 months. And already, just with this tiny tease we've seen of the giant series it'll probably end up being, it is so good. Mostly because of one key thing. We're finally seeing why Dracula is so bad. He does some really evil things in the games. Honestly, he keeps trying to destroy the world, or at least take it over. Something like that is usually something only done by comic book villains. But here, we have a reason, a very clear reason that personally I can understand. Dracula seems like a human. At the opening of the first episode, we see a woman walking alone into Dracula's castle. This thing is surrounded by thousands of dead bodies that at this point are just skeletons on spikes. It seems like she has no chance of living, but she's there just to ask him a question. Will she learn from him? Can he teach her all the secrets of science? Somebody who's been alive as long as him has a lot of time to do research. He can figure out stuff about the stars that a normal person can't. He can figure out how medicines work, what diseases are killing people the fastest. And so because of it, he ends up deciding, against all odds, to take her under his wing. Skip forward a few years, and we now see her returning to society with Dracula as her husband. They've decided to live as normal people and just help mankind with all the knowledge she's gained. That is until the church decides to come and execute her for black magic. All of this takes place in the first 5 minutes of the first episode, so it's not really spoiler heavy, but it sets the tone for the fact that Dracula really is a normal guy. I mean, true, he's committed horrible genocide and done despicable acts that are literally, I mean, a sin off the scale. But he's still a person. He was born, he lived, he loves, he commits crimes that he himself knows is wrong. But in this woman, he found a special spark of humanity that he didn't know he had. So when she dies, it's time to go John Wick on everybody. He unleashes a massive army of demons to wipe out all life on the planet. And now, it's down to just one man to stop them. The last son of Belmont. Longtime fans of the Castlevania franchise will know the Belmont name well. This family of vampire hunters is pretty much the only thing that's kept Dracula at bay for thousands of years, and now it's once again their duty. Now here's what I really like most. Trevor Belmont is kind of a miscreant. He kind of hates his own existence. His only duty in life is to slay vampires and stop monsters, but at this point, there's no one left. All of his family is gone except for him. All their royalty, all the things they've built, their giant houses, their place in the world has been taken away. Now, he's just one man wandering across the land and hoping that he can find a drink or a monster to kill, to find some purpose. It's in this way that I love the Castlevania TV show more than anything. It's so bizarre, but I have to say, it seems like Dracula is more full of passion than the man who's trying to kill him. Trevor Belmont's only job is to kill Dracula, but he finds no joy in it. He doesn't wake up excited to do what he has to do. He doesn't wake up sad. He just does what he has to do. In that way, he's almost more of a controlled monster than the monster who's destroying the world. This storytelling mechanic is so interesting, and I love it. It's so cool seeing Trevor just reflexively deal with every situation, whether it be stopping a bunch of evil priests from beating a man to death. It just seems like it's a habit of him to save people. He doesn't do it because it's fun. He doesn't do it because it's right. He just does it because he's trained to do it. whereas Dracula does everything for a reason. He moves his castle, he takes over nations, he puts people on spikes, whatever it takes for him to find his own purpose, no matter how dark it is. It's so cool. I guess if I had any small gripe about this show, it's really the fact that I wish that there were a couple more references. I wanted more of a tie back to the original games. In this, they really don't fight that many crazy creatures. We don't see any Medusas. We don't see giant cool laboratories and we don't see heroes jumping around on cool levels. For the most part, it's a lot of people just walking around in cities, talking to each other, and then occasionally fighting a couple monsters at night. There's none of that pacing. There's none of that fast unwrapping of events. It's very slow and methodical, but I understand why they had to do that. The couple fights we do get are actually really, really cool, and I'm glad that they animated them so well. It is an anime art style, which I'm not normally a big fan of, but when it comes time to swords being flung around, it is a great time. The director, before the show came out, promised that this would basically be Game of Thrones in the Castlevania world, and I feel like they really nailed that. There's a really heavy sense of tension and importance to the actions that take place. And right now, I'm dying to see how Trevor Belmont is actually going to stop Dracula. And really, if there's even a point in trying. Okay, so we've heard some good and some bad, but let's put a rating on it. I am giving the Castlevania Netflix show a B. It could be a bit better, but right now it's already pretty dang awesome. I'm hoping that we get a lot more action going forward. I want to see him use that whip to kick a ton of ass. I want to see what all those years of training in the Belmont family home does to a man. Okay guys, well thanks so much for watching. You can already hear a dog barking, so I'm going to wrap this up. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Man, I got up super freaking early to film this video and watch Netflix. I've been watching a lot of Netflix this morning. I'm going to bed. Thanks so much for watching. You guys rock. And it was a total dumpster fire. Oh, hi. I'm just working on the next video. If you want to see what it is, go ahead and click this button and you can subscribe. Also, if you click these video links, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. Now I'm just going to sit here for a minute and wait for you to subscribe. Oh, I guess I could put on these giant glasses. I literally found these on a roller coaster.